Okay, this planned Embraer C390 deal by Lithuania is really turning into quite the soap opera. Not only has the country's former defense minister gone public to call the deal a poor decision, but the country's anti-corruption agency has opened an investigation into the procurement process. Let's take a look at all of this drama and more in today's video. The news taking place within the halls of the Lithuanian government has to do with the Minister of Defense playing, well, defense on her ministry's decision to buy 3 C390 Millennium transport aircraft. The minister has argued that the armed forces need new transport aircraft and that EU funds could be used to cover part of the purchase. The money would come from the EU's cohesion fund, and this is funding which apparently cannot be spent on weapons. The thing is, we don't know how much the aircraft are going to cost, nor do we know how much the cohesion fund would cover. Nonetheless, this current defense minister struck back at critics, even threatening legal action against opposition leader Laurynas Kasčiūnas, the former Minister of Defense. Kasčiūnas is the one that has been quite critical of the deal and accused his successor of having some sort of personal interest in the deal. The current minister, Dovile Šakalienė, says she may take legal action against any defamatory statements and was quoted as saying, "Such claims amount to accusations of corruption." Kasčiūnas isn't the only person critical of the deal, however. LRT reports that members of the National Security and Defense Committee said using cohesion funds would force the Defense Ministry to draw money away from projects in healthcare, roads and education. One committee member wrote that swapping regional investment for Brazilian aircraft risks deepening public mistrust in government. And so, as we mentioned at the introduction, the Special Investigation Service, the country's main anti-corruption agency, has opened a pre-trial inquiry into the procurement process. The committee chair questioned why rival companies Airbus and Lockheed Martin were only approached in mid-May, weeks before a preliminary agreement was reached with Embraer in June. We can't exactly explain this, but we do feel that the C390 would be a better choice over the C130 Hercules, while the Airbus A400 is much larger and in a slightly different category. Other critics have mentioned Brazil's place in the BRICS bloc, which includes Russia and China, countries that aren't exactly friendly to Lithuania and the interests of the West. However, as we noted in our previous video, many fellow allies have purchased the C390 already, and there is a decent amount of trust already established with the Brazilian plane maker. From our perspective, Brazil as a nation remains fairly neutral between the traditional Western countries and the superpowers of the East. So all of this is what the deal is up against. The upside of purchasing these aircraft is that Lithuania would join a multinational order for the C390 Millennium and would secure faster delivery and fill a looming gap. Lithuania's existing Spartan aircraft are getting old and have faced parts shortages and costly maintenance. Our own position has been that the aircraft type appears to be very capable and versatile, but we would say that there are higher defense spending priorities for now, and that Western allies are more than capable of providing airlift support to Lithuania to quickly move arms and supplies to the region if needed. But what are your thoughts on all this drama? Let us know by leaving a comment.